more shows, and then our guitar player is getting married. So he's going to take some time off, because you should only do that once. Some people do it a couple times. But honeymoon is going to take a little while. So while he's off doing that, we're going to be doing some maintenance on the business side of things and writing side of things. And then start hitting the road again in August on the weekends, like we've been doing, like 2 to 3 shows a weekend in other states and other cities. And I think we'll be back in Houston playing an in-town show in September. Yeah. But this is our last one for the summer.
Oh. I definitely think it is kind of a sneak peek to a new direction. You know, we're getting a lot smarter in writing. I don't know if you guys got to listen to some of the older record. There's a little bit more chaotic than this, than See the Light Inside You. And even now, for this you know, next EP or next release that we do, it's just going to be real smart writing. And we're going to really focus on, you know, great hooks, great melodies, and whether that is a little bit more on the darker side or a little bit more on the lighter side or maybe even the pop side, we're just going to kind of let it kind of all play out.
Yeah, I mean, I think really, primarily our biggest thing is, like, I mean, you can't get away from them, but we don't want to, like, play to anybody giving us a severe genre. Like, we want to write, like, and it may end up all in one genre, but we don't really care about that. We just, like the last record we had songs like I Know You Think Nobody Cares, and like people, like we sat around like, should we put that on this record? It's just piano and vocals. Like, does everybody in the room love the damn song? Like, yeah, well, probably damn record. There's people who talk to me about that. It's the only song we really don't play live unless we're doing an acoustic show that everybody talks to me about. And it's a lot of fun to like be able to not be confined by what should be us. You know, like what should be us is 5 guys playing what they want to do, and writing the best stuff they can. And if it happens to be loud, it'll be loud. If it happens to be soft, it's gonna be soft. So as long as like we love it, we think it's a good idea. We're trying to be smarter songwriters, and there were a lot of great parts. Yeah. I don't think the music necessarily was bad, but as far as like writing songs, they weren't really songs. They were a collection of very interesting things that followed a really interesting dramatic arc of my lyrics. But as far as being listenable as a song, they didn't really work in that effect. It was fun for some people, but ultimately we wanted to do a little bit more than that, so that's why we changed. Well, we don't have a permanent replacement for him just yet. So there's some ways, obviously, that's affected a whole lot. We're working with 3 guys who kind of come through like the tryout process, and we're just kind of taking them on the road, seeing how they write, seeing how they travel. First prerequisite is that they can play the set backwards and forwards, and they can all do that. So there's a lot more to figure out there than be able to play what we wrote a year and a half ago. We basically have to, we're not really looking for a drummer, we're looking for a new family member. Yeah. And so that takes a little bit longer to figure out than just, okay, you can play our set, sign me on the dotted line. So, so we do have 3 really great guys that are working with us right now. They're being patient with us, trying to figure out how to do this, because we've never had to try out anybody. It had been the same 5 guys for 7 years. Andy was actually the first one I brought into the band when I started it. So, you know, it's definitely different playing, looking back and seeing a new face, and then looking back the next week and seeing another new face, and then you go out the next week and it's like, how many of there are you?
And this is definitely a trial by fire, because we are really working on getting our regional presence up right now. And so we are playing in all these new markets, and we're having a lot of fun at the same time. It's real tough for these new guys to be on the road with us, you know, for 3-4 days out. So.
Sometimes it's really fun.
Yeah, sometimes it's real fun.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. Yeah, I mean, Andy was phenomenal, and like, no way I don't want anybody to ever think that there was like any kind of bad blood there. We get a lot of people ask, what happened? What happened? Like, nothing happened. It was just the majority of the band members of the band were wanting to try and put some more effort into it, and it was something Andy didn't feel like was the direction his life needed to go, and it was just like, what was good for him, what's good for us, and everybody looked at each other and said, well, this doesn't make sense for us to do this anymore this way. And you know, we're still very close to him, we still love him dearly, like, still talk to him. It's not like, you know, we broke up, you know, so it wasn't like we were unhappy with him, he was unhappy with us. There was no like drama there. It was just people wanted different things, and we all loved the shit out of each other, so we want everybody to be happy. Really, I mean, if any genre, like what I guess we'll shoot for is just being a good rock band, just rock, like not even technically rock and roll or anything else, like just rock, I guess. we're not afraid to explore a whole bunch of things, and we're going to get into a lot of that. There was a whole lot of stuff we were writing while we still had Andy with us that was going a lot more aggressive, and I think now I don't know if we're going to really. I don't know what we're gonna do with that stuff.
Yeah. We might pick it apart, you know, and Frankenstein it up a little bit, and you know, take little pieces that we really loved and formulate new songs around it. We're not too sure just yet, but you know, we're definitely going to move forward with at least probably hopefully some of the stuff. I really like some of this stuff.
He was really begging me not to. He's like, don't let us stop being loud. And like, don't make us look super wussy. I'm like, yeah, no. I mean, because I'm definitely more interested in exploring the softer side of what we can pull off. But you know, I'm okay with the loud stuff too. I just don't want to get pigeonholed again. Like, I just don't really feel the need for any sort of classification of what we do other than your favorite band, hopefully. that's what we're going for. I think if you go by van CD player when we're out doing all these shows right now, I'd say Tokyo Police Club's a big one. Me and Richard love, which if you've heard that band, it sounds nothing like anything we do. It's very indie rock, Brooklyn indie rock kind of stuff, and.
One Republic?
One Republic, huge fans. Yeah, if this gets on the internet and leaks out to anybody who knows Ryan Tedder, God, I would give parts of my body just to write one song with that man. I think he's amazing. And he gets basically one of the smartest writers in the music industry right now. So One Republic, love the show. You know, I did this band actually started out of, oddly enough, an acoustic singer-songwriter project I had. So, I mean, like, it's kind of come full circle. Just I'm a way better songwriter now than I was when I was doing it by myself back then. Because we like kind of got away from the formatted song structure of being a songwriter to explore more creative options and technical options, and then I kind of stood back and looked at it and was like, where are we? Like, what's going on here? So I guess as far as polishing and refining, I mean, like, maybe not use such technical rhythms in certain places, or structures, like not really straying from what are considered normal structures, but making interesting chord cycles or chord progressions, or making technical changes in arrangement or instrument choice. Like one of the big things for me, being mostly an electronic-based musician, I'm excited to not just be stuck with bass, drums, guitar. Like, I like to be able, like, if I want, you know, horns here, I want to pull them up and use them. Like, if I want weird synthesizers, I want to pull them up and use them. That's something I think we're all looking to maybe, we're not going to, like, turn into, you know, Devo or some shit, but definitely be able to embrace that kind of songwriting, where we can bring in whatever element feels right for the song.
Something else pretty cool, we're also experimenting with an acoustic project. We are actually playing a lot of the same songs that we have, but we are stripping them down and putting it acoustic. And Kevin Poole, our bassist, is a multi-instrument musician. I mean, he can play the accordion, the French horn, of course the piano, harmonica, tambourine. You know, so it's a triangle.
Well, he plays the tambourine on one leg, while he plays the piano with the other hand, and then he does harmonica. Like, put two notes at a time on the harmonica, and we're like.
And you know, Rich and I are playing the ukulele and things like that, and we're really trying to, you know, kind of have some fun with the songs we have right now and promote it kind of a different way. You know, we can do this big, loud rock, you know, stadium kind of thing. However, you know, it's kind of fun to strip everything down and just play like the simple melodies of like the stuff that we have. So, and then we get to go into fun venues and
places we normally wouldn't play, or play with bands that have no idea who we are. Yeah. Like, wait a second, this isn't what you sound like?
It's kind of like an incognito.
Cool. Yeah, it's almost like a completely different band, but it's the same songs. I mean, that was a major shift in our songwriting in general, was because, you know, anything before that we were kind of doing the dual vocalist of, like, he had a line and I had a line, or he would have a whole section and then I would take over primarily. And one of the things we wanted to do with See the Light Inside You was give it a little bit more focus, and we started working on things the way we'd always had, and it just didn't make sense. It just didn't. It was really like, for someone approaching our band from the very beginning with the sound that we were creating, it was just really confusing. Like, you didn't know who is this. Now there's this voice, now there's this voice, and our voices are so starkly completely different. It's like it didn't really make sense for us to do that. And I think in some ways, like, that was a hard personal transition for Kevin to make. I can't speak for him, but I'm going to anyway. I think that was hard for him, but I think he realizes now, like, what makes sense, like what we all have, what makes sense of the song, what, like, not just what you love to do as a person, but as a member of this band making a song, what's the right choice here? And he doesn't follow me on everything, but it's pretty much backups, but in a very like vital way. Like we can't make those choruses hit like that without someone giving like the high range to mix with the power of my voice, because like melodically, like there's only so much I can do with this. You know, unless we talked about jokingly becoming a Johnny Cash tribute band or a Barry White cover band, you know, there's not a whole lot I can do outside my own stuff. But to give it more of like the oomph that a chorus and lift that it needs, like we can't do without it. Like, it doesn't make any sense without it. So I think in the future we're going to kind of stick with the way things are, but vocally, actually, not what Kevin's going to do, it's what this guy's going to do. We're really working on building. On the record, we stack the vocals, but live, we really want to start getting into more three-part harmonies, working with Derek, doing a third part from the very beginning outset of writing. And we've worked some of it into this current set, and hear it. It's makes the live show come across even better, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. Is I write tons of harmonies on my own before I even bring in the song, because I work in a home studio, but having Derek and Kevin to work with as well, you know, taking my ideas like, oh, that was a cool idea here, but I'd rather sing this, and working out the chords and just kind of bouncing it back and forth. And having a third person to do that with is going to be really fun.